In the video I have for you today, I'll be showing you Bitcoin's price action, what it has been doing since yesterday, moving into today. I'll be highlighting my support and resistance levels for us, and showing you possible areas for entry and for take profit levels where we can take a trade and how we can make money from this volatile asset market. Let's just jump right into the chart straight away, and we can see yesterday we pumped all the way to $108,000 levels and we got rejected over there. If in fact, look at these big huge candles we had to the downside, and this is showing us there's a lot of sellers ready to sell to this market and ready to push the price lower, and we got stocked out and we got a support of around $106,000 levels, which I've highlighted at in this yellow line. So you can see that we have been able to claim this support and use this as a local support for us for bounce zone. So this is quite interesting and it's something we should watch. This support of $106,000 levels will come important later on along the line in the future. In the future can be tomorrow, next tomorrow, who knows? But this line of $106,000 levels is going to be very, very important moving on, and that's why we have highlighted it. Now we look at the charts, and what is the chart telling us right now? We seem to have bounced off the $106,000 levels, and right now we are at $107,000 level, $106,690,000 levels, and we are struggling. I'm not really confident in the way the candles seem to be acting, and the price action right now doesn't give me full confidence that we'll continue to go upward in the near term. So I'm expecting a further pullback for us to test that support of $106,000 level. If we test the support and we are able to hold it, that is a very, very good opportunity and a good level for us to be able to take a trade to the upside. Once we test that support and we confirm it as support, then we'll be looking at longing the market to a local high of maybe $108,000 levels. This will be something I'm looking at. We still maintain our bounce zone of between $102,000 levels and $105,000 levels, because we know and we have been able to highlight there's a lot of price action within that zone. So that is something we'll still keep watching and we still keep seeing. In case Bitcoin breaks the support of 106, then we know that we are going down to a further level of around $106,000 or $105,000 levels. So this is what we are looking at in Bitcoin chart. Looking at the RSI, you can see we seem to pointing out, but if you look at it clearly and you can see, if you can zoom in, you can see that we seem to be moving sideways. So we expect further sideways, lackluster movement right now in the price. This is not really giving us a lot of confidence that we should enter any trade today in the chart. Looking at Ethereum chart, you can see we are still maintaining a higher low. So this is still showing us, and even the Bitcoin too is showing us a higher low. So this is still showing us from a macro perspective, and when we zoom out, we are still on a bullish course. But when you zoom in into the daily movements and the 1 hourly and the 4 hourly, we don't really look that bullish right now. And all this is due to all the different triple threats. Like this week is very, very heavy this week, with the BOJ announcing on the macroeconomic front. The Fed chairman Jerome Powell is giving a speech on Wednesday, and the jobless claim is also coming out on Wednesday, and we are going to listen and understand the interest rate policy in the near term for the US and the broader macro global economy, and how that is going to reverberate, because we know the US dollar is the one that runs the world, and oil is priced in dollars. So all of this is quite important and it's quite interesting. Then that even reminds me and to even mention that oil, what did we see even after all these tensions with Iran and Israel with oil? The price of oil shot up. So you can see, and it shows us that a lot of things, all this is based on oil. So we should not get all distracted by what is going on in news headlines, because all of that is just to make us distracted. Because what do we see when we look at fundamental news and what is happening on chain? Institutions are still buying, ETF inflows still continuing, they have not stopped. We can even see Solana ETF is being filed for. So a lot of institutions are buying up all these dips, and you can literally see it in the Bitcoin chart. Even after this dump, someone is still buying it up. So people are ready to place bets and to place speculation that the price of Bitcoin is still going further upside. So this is what we are looking at in the Bitcoin chart. We can look at the Fibonacci levels to see what that is also telling us, and we take it from the local high to the local low. And what is that telling us? Here you go. Literally the same price that I've been talking about. We bounced off the 0.786 levels And right now, we are above the 105, $0.5 thousand levels, and we are struggling to set to go further upside for that. So we should be seeing what that should be telling us in the near term, and what that will be indicating what the price action will be doing. Looking at the crypto bubbles, we have a mixed bag of green and red. Pendule is one to look at. XRP is actually bullish because we see a lot of news with XRP on the fundamental plot. Uniswap is also bullish. Fatcoin, an indicator of meme coins, and on Solana is down 6.6%. Look at the fear and greed index. We are still in greed. So a lot of people have not capitulated. A lot of people are still in this market. Right now, what is this telling us? Despite all the tensions we see with Iran and Israel, and now also we see US is likely to get involved. And we see this week we also had the G7 talks in Canada, and Trump had to cut short his meeting to go back to the US, which he even tweeted, and he was saying a lot of weird tweets coming from him, and he was saying they should prepare the situation room. So it seems US might get into this war. Of course, we don't want that, but if US gets into this war and it gets more involved, then that would be an onset for further ramifications and further destruction in the world, and we don't want that as traders. But then again, as traders, we look at what is happening in the chart because the price action is totally different. And this reminds me of what happened during the 2020 period with the disease I don't want to name. You guys know what it was, that we were all locked in our houses. What happened during that period? Even despite all of that that was happening this year, what was price telling us in Bitcoin? We dumped initially, but in 2 weeks, we pumped over 10%. And that 10%, we're still going higher despite all of that was going on in the world. So during times of uncertainty, and these are times of uncertainty, and we can literally see it in the charts today, nothing really is not really telling us anything. So we are at uncertain period. We are in the realms of uncertainty, but uncertainty breeds opportunities. Uncertainty brings, profit. You can be profitable in uncertain periods, and this is what we are here to be able to spot all these levels. I've spotted the support and resistance. Support of $106,000 levels, resistance of around $108,000 levels for us to look at. These two levels are very, very important for us to look. So we look at the opportunities. When either we reclaim support or we break through resistance, then we'll know whether to long or short this market. That's why we're here every day showing you the opportunities that lie in this market, so that you can be profitable in this market from my videos. I hope you are watching my videos. Wait to the next video. I'll see you in the next video showing you positions and the levels and the points where you can take a trade and be profitable and make zero to Ferrari. See you tomorrow.